Sometimes people claim to see some unbelievable things. It is easy to be skeptical and to chalk these sightings and accounts up to scientific and psychological phenomena that had yet to be explained. What if even one of these miraculous events really happened? That would be enough to turn most people's worldview completely on its head. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 extraordinary miracle sightings. Miracle of the Sun in Fatima. In 1917 in Fatima, Portugal, many people claimed to have witnessed the sun moving. As they looked up into the sky, it became a well-defined, dull, great white disk which spun around and moved about the sky above them. Some witnesses say they saw the sun come closer to them, while others saw everything in a deep amethyst color. One thing is for sure though, this was no ordinary Friday. Around noon that day in Fatima, spectators of the phenomenon began to see a change in the atmospheric conditions. Prior to this, it had been muddy and wet, and the air around them seemed to change. Then, as described by one man who was present, the sun started breaking. Nobody had any clue what was going on, and their view of our nearest star began warping and shifting. It appeared to spin and whir around in the sky, changing colors, and some thought it even came closer to the earth. The wind started to blow. Witnesses began to confess their sins, and soon enough, they realized the ground was dry. Their clothes were also dry. Many witnesses of this event believe it to be a true miracle, and supposedly the event quelled a growing atheist population at the time. Skeptics would probably point to optical distortions caused by clouds called sundogs, visual disturbances caused by staring at the sun, or even some sort of collective delusion. After all, there is no evidence that it rained as much as some witnesses claimed it did. Also, if the sun itself began moving and changing, it's likely that some of the millions of other people below the same sun would have reported the same things. All these people in Fatima, however, were there to witness a miracle told in Christian prophecy. It's quite possible that while expecting to witness a miracle, they happened to see some disturbances in their optical view of the sun due to clouds of ice crystals or stratospheric dust. While possible that reports such as that of seeing a violet hue over everything were due to retinal damage from staring at the sun for too long, the biggest hole in the story is that most of the reports of the event have differing details. Some saw purple everywhere. Some others saw a blue and yellow sun, and some say it was brighter, clearer, and closer. Regardless of what you truly believe occurred in Fatima in October of 1917, the phenomenon is historic and mystical. Joseph of Cupertino levitation. Saint Joseph of Cupertino is a character of legend. It's reported that by his mid-20s, he was able to take to the skies and float around effortlessly. The beginning of Joseph's life was truly challenging and tragic. For one, his father passed away, leaving a mountain of debt that caused his family home to be confiscated. His mother was forced to give birth to him in a shed behind that house, inside which they hid from the creditors. She was far from capable of truly caring for Joseph, as he needed her to physically, mentally, and emotionally. She was unable to feed him well, and he was undernourished and sickly from the beginning. She became frustrated with him and could not hold back abusing him and taking out her frustrations on him. Later in life, Joseph was unable to learn at school or in an apprenticeship with a shoemaker. Many people who met Joseph supposedly reported him as dull and absent-minded, unable to form thoughts into speech and communicate like his peers. In fact, the only thing he seemed interested and capable of was becoming a servant of a monastery. He was transformed by this, became much gentler and kinder, and began begging for the poor. In time, he would be given another chance and become a Catholic priest in 1628. Many occurrences of Joseph's flights from then on are proclaimed. He was said to have flown up to plant a cross into its socket for some laborers, soar into the sky and hover over a crowd of people during a feast, and was even witnessed levitating by Pope Urban VIII. This earned him the nickname the Flying Saint. He was also reported to unblind and cure many sick children, so much so that the ill began to seek him out. Irish people still claim sightings of Virgin Mary in the sky in 1985. Unlike the other two miracle phenomena we have described so far, this one is much more recent. Many of the children who witnessed these sightings are alive and well today, and many of them still believe that this is what they saw. In a documentary called Moving Statues, witnesses to these statues of Virgin Mary in the sky make it clear that they still believe what they saw is totally real. In Ireland in 1985, hundreds, if not thousands, of people came out to pray in a remote, rural area in Ireland. More and more people came each night, coming to a head at about 12,000 people. A handful of youths at the event recounted their experiences. One boy claimed he saw the Blessed Virgin Mary in a mist for 3 to 4 minutes on one of the first nights. He said she was dressed in white and praying in front of a black sky. He said the 4 girls who were there on Monday night saw her face in the moon, saying faith and hope repeatedly, but he did not see it. What he did see was a bright white moon with a blue ring around it. Another night, he was praying and saw a big red light show up in the sky, with the Blessed Virgin's statue within it and angels around it. The 4 girls at the event also described their experiences. One of them described seeing Our Lady high in the sky and becoming petrified. Another of the girls saw the Virgin Mary's face too, and could see that it looked sad. She became scared of the first girl, thinking that Mary had put something within her friend that would harm her, so she ran over to her sister. Then the 3 girls were all separated from the first girl who saw Mary in the sky. She yelled for them to not leave her, as she felt like she could not move. One of the girls came back and tried to pull her off the road, but she was stuck. Eventually, the girls got her to move and they started to head back home. Upon arriving home, one of the girls' mothers said the group seemed to have a glow about them. The girls then told their parents the story of what they saw, and they believed it. This is what led thousands of people to look for the Virgin Mary in the sky for the next couple of weeks in the rural Irish town. Like the story of the dancing sun in the sky, the reports of various people differ significantly. For one, some report having seen Saint Bernadette, while others did not. Some saw a happy Mary, while others found her to be full of sorrow. Either way, many people still believe that this is what they witnessed in 1985. But what do you make of these eyewitness accounts? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.